And we're going to go to Wolf Street for this one. Wolf Richter's website. Worst restaurant recession since 2009 digs inflation. Quick look surprised. I'll say it again. The data, the stuff I'm reading you, even the real numbers, fudged or not, are still showing recessionary red alert flashing, if you will, yet we have an all-time high stock market. Company shares, everything. I mean, across the board, pretty much, you know. Well, maybe not across the board, but the main markets across the world, up, baby, up. Nothing to see here. You know why they're up. The Fed, that central bank, they're propping up. But our Fed doesn't. Yes, they do. They do a currency swap with the Swiss National Bank, for example. And then the Swiss National Bank, their Federal Reserve, if you will, their central bank, which shouldn't be called the Federal Reserve, so their central bank, will then take that money they just got from the currency swap and go into our market and buy some stuff. Follow me? But there's no market crash, yet the expected things you would see because of market crash, recessions here, depression, whatever it may be, we don't seem to think it. Oh, the market's up. Yeah, but your dollar doesn't go as far as it did, you know, yesterday. Your discretionary spending, disposable income, if you will. What disposable income? It's running out. Everyone's poor. It's going to rent. It's going to mortgages. It's going elsewhere. Mostly to those things. Live in a freaking house or rent. Which means everything else suffers because you don't have the money extra to go be a consumer. So, anyways, let's get on with this. Households at lower 80% of income scale are maxed out. July proved to be a tough month for chain restaurants, the report said. Foot traffic at chain restaurants fell 4.7% in July year over year. Same-store sales fell 2.8%, the 17th month in a row of year-over-year declines, the longest downturn since 2009. On a two-year basis, same-store sales fell 4.2% from July 2015, and traffic fell 8.7%. Sales rose in only 12 markets and fell in 183 markets. California was once again the least bad region, with same-store sales down just 0.7% and foot traffic down 3.6%, or about half as the other one. In other words, no region had positive results. The Midwest was the worst region, with sales down 3.6% and foot traffic down 5.2%. While the economy keeps growing at a moderate pace and job gains remain strong, the consumers seem to be on vacation, literally and figuratively, said the report by TDN2K, whose restaurant industry snapshot tracks sales at 27,000 restaurant units from 155 brands, generating $67 billion in annual revenue. So hold on. Their quote, while the economy keeps growing at a moderate pace and job gains remain strong. Well, that's because they don't have a choice. They're using the fake data given to them by the government and the Fed. Which I'm telling you is fake. It's not real. I've proven to you a million times it's not. This is strong data. How's the restaurant industry doing? Well, the Fed can't fake that because they don't control that. You got it. They've got tapped into 27,000 restaurants here. They can pull the data, these people. And they did. And it sucks. Just like the car sales data sucks. Consumer spending sucks. While the economy keeps growing at a moderate pace and job gains remain strong, the consumers seem to be on vacation. No, they don't seem to be. They are. Because there aren't strong job growths. And we don't have an economy growing at a modest pace. 10 years of 1 point something whatever percent GDP, sometimes 2 point something percent, is not even kind of moderate growth. That's worse than terrible, is what that growth is. Remember, they had to revise, last year, they had to revise the GDP from 2016, and then when they came out, it was right around the election time, if you recall, because I did the video. Oh, that's funny. Not only are they revising GDP, they're revising the last 10 years, all in one swoop. You just got data for the last 10 years, huh? Just something came in all of a sudden and made you do a revision. or you've been lying the entire time, and now that Obama's leaving, let's go ahead and be real and give some real data. Exactly. Exactly. That's about 10% of total eating and drinking places. Revenues as tracked by the Commerce Department. The report added, one of the clearest indicators that households are spending cautiously is the softening of big-ticket purchases. In July, for the 11th month out of the last 12, vehicle sales were below the rate posted the year before. Home sales, while still trending up, are now expanding at a decelerating pace. End quote. Food sales were down and alcohol sales were down. Prices were up. But the Fed, we don't look at prices of those things. We look at other stuff. Food, shelter, energy. Nope, we don't look at none of that. How the hell do you know inflation? Because we look at the cost of a dung beetle. The cost to produce dung beetles in Australia tells us in America what the inflation rate is. I made that up. However, the Fed looks at crap data to determine its inflation and whatnot. It's garbage and they know it. They just have to fake it until they make it, and they will never make it, so they just keep faking it. Okay? So, actually, households are currently maintaining their lifestyles by reducing their savings rate, and that is likely restraining spending on discretionary goods. We may have to wait until the fall or early winter, assuming wage gains accelerate by then, to see any pickup in restaurant sales. Assuming wage gains accelerate? Listen, I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm Realist News, and I am forced by my own consciousness to keep it real. There will be no wage gains coming later this year or anytime in the foreseeable future. Thanks. So everyone is waiting for wage increases for the lower 80% of the wage earners that will finally outgrow inflation. That's all it would take to crank up the economy and even the restaurant business. People have been waiting for years for these real wage increases, but it's just not happening. I've been waiting for a wage increase like you come into my life. Whoa, yeah, waiting for a wage increase like you come into my life. And you'll be singing that over and over again because it ain't gonna happen. I'll tell you what, I'll stop doing these horrible singing parody things when that starts happening. Wage increases, lower 80%. You can almost smell it in the air. Universal basic income coming to a planet near you. Where the governments of the world decide everybody's going to get a, let's just call it a $2,000 a month wage for doing nothing. Just here you go. You can help pay your high rent. You can help pay your high mortgages. You can go out and spend. You can buy your TVs. You can do whatever you want with it. And you'll see the numbers skyrocket. Donald Trump, oh my God, most amazing president ever, you know. Only because it happened on his time, to be fair. And then you'd see a nice, interesting thing, not nice, an interesting thing happen. Of course, this is my opinion, but I think you'll agree. I really do. If everyone just got a $2,000 a month bonus, no matter what, whether you have a job or not, it's just automatic, a universal basic income, as they call it. Do you think that prices are going to rise? Rents are going to go up even higher. Mortgages, houses, everything's going to go up higher. Your food, everything's going to go up higher because everyone's going to say, well, we've been barely able to squeak out this profit margin. Now that we've got this people, consumers with $2,000 a month extra spending, guys, corporate says it's time to raise the prices. Okay, let's do this. And the next thing you know, the $2,000 a month bonus isn't buying jack crap. And if they take it away, it would be the worst depression on the face of the earth, because then we go back to without having it. And the prices of everything will already be up here. Massive collapse will take place of epic proportions. If you disagree with this view, I'm sure certainly go ahead and voice your comment if you'd like, but I think what I said was pretty sound. The report pointed out that those at the higher end of the income scale, those that can afford high-end chain restaurants, were pulling their weight in the fine dining segment. Fine dining and upscale casual continue to outperform other industry segments. Fine dining was the only segment up in July, which just at 0.4%, but up nonetheless, half a point. in upscale casual was down fractionally. The slowdown in fast casual sales noted in the past continued in July, as did softness for quick service. Chain restaurants are getting hit by a combination of factors, including the surge of independent restaurants from high-end to delis, grab-and-go prepared foods available at every grocery store, VC-funded meal replacement kits such as Blue Apron, one of the most anticipated IPOs this year that has now totally crashed, convenience stores, and food trucks. I personally, and I don't have one in here at the moment. Matter of fact, I need to get one. An actual desktop, self-raising, pull this thing BS flag. Because I'm going to raise the BS flag on that statement. That's why it's down. No. Every other data point says we're in a recession. That's why we're freaking down. Now, BS flag. Do they make one? I'm going to go ahead and show you what Amazon has. They do have a BS flag, my friends. Green, yellow BS flag, uncensored. The official BS flag, censored. I probably would prefer that one, to be not putting the bad words on the screen. But 14 by 14 inch, that's nice size. Weighted like a NFL penalty flag. Corporate use. No, this ain't corporate use. This is Jason 4 use. So basically it's weighted. You can grab the thing and toss it. Penalty, 5 yards, penalty. 5% down on your GDP. Boom. And I throw it. I'm kind of wanting the kind that you can attach to like a little desktop flagpole where you can actually see me do this. Raise the flag and you see the little BS flag. And I get to raise the BS flag when I think I'm hearing some BS. So, anyways, this article is a bit longer. It's just, points made. Bottom line, this is a recession, my friends. And again, the EBT and the food stamps and all this stuff, it's there for a reason and hasn't gone away since 2009, 8-9 for a reason. Because we never left the last recession. We're still in it. Nothing has changed to correct it. We've allowed these insane prices because now they've intervened, government. So now these insane prices can keep going higher. We need the boom and bust cycle to kick in, which in this case, it's the bust cycle. That's what resets things, resets pricing, resets anything that's insane. Comes back down to reality. But you have the Federal Reserve and other central banks stepping in, propping up every damn thing that's important. And your company that's struggling, even if you had an IPO, even if you have stock shares, doesn't matter. You're not on the big list of the Fed or the other central banks. We're not buying your crap up. We're only going to buy the Googles, the Apples, the Microsoft, the big ones, the S&P, the Dow. We're going to buy the top ones to fakely prop the market up. Anyways. I am out. Take care.